The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayor's and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Menden-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's version of the Mayor's and Supervisors Update. I am Chris Carosa, publisher of the Menden-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you what's going around in our towns and village of our coverage area. This week we'll be starting out with Jerry in the town of Rush. Jerry, how are we doing in Rush?
Well, I am going to report that what's going around, thank goodness, is not COVID. We don't want that, but it seems to be all around outside of Rush. I don't know of any growth of that disease in Rush, which is good. That'll allow Rush to maintain its status as the best kept secret in Western New York. We are deeply entrenched in the budget development process. All of our department heads are putting together their budgets for 2022. And I do wish that more of our residents would take an interest in that. We had 3 people at our kickoff meeting the other night. But remember, it's your money, folks, and you should know how we are spending it. And I'd like to see more participation. But I thought it was interesting also that we had a Beatles concert at the library last Friday night, and I thought the band was pretty good. In fact, I'll even say it was very good. The name of the band was 8 Days a Week. I sat right in the front row and I talked to probably 20 people or more, none of them from Rush, several from Honeoye Falls. I don't know what you guys did to get them out of town to come over here, but you probably told them this is the best kept secret in Western New York. My wife talked to probably 15 or 20 people, none from Rush. She didn't record where they came from, but I thought that was very interesting. If people think about it, it's a free night of good entertainment. And you can look on the website, and the next one is a mandolin concert, I think, in about 3 weeks, which should be interesting. I plan to go and hope that a lot of other Rush residents go. The highway department has pretty much done their summer road projects. They're getting stuff ready now to take care of you know what. Eileen, don't send any over to me. We don't want it. But we're ready for it if you do send it over. And hopefully we will have somewhat of a mild winter. If you go by the temperatures we're experiencing, we might have a mild winter, which would be nice to some degree. And I should say that we have mandated starting today that masks are worn by everyone in the town hall, whether or not you are vaccinated. We're doing that as a special precaution to ensure that we don't participate in the spread of the disease in the town of Rush. We want to maintain our status, you know what that is, and we don't want anyone to come to the town hall for service and get sick. I would also mention that we have a lot of delinquent dog owners in town, like about 2 or 3 dozen. And we'd appreciate it very much if people would come into town, renew their dog's license, and be done with it. I guess that's about it. We're just hoping that we get some break from the rain. We get rain every day. And not that it's a bad thing, but we'd like to see a couple of sunny days like we had at the Scottsville car show last weekend. That's it. Thank you. Oh, I'll mention another thing. A lot of people in Rush have contacted me to let me know that they're very unhappy with their water, both quality and quantity. I think I've mentioned this before, and we will be having a community-wide water meeting with experts. I know how to drink water, but I don't know much more than that about it. We're going to have engineers and attorneys and other people who know a lot about water and what it takes to make a water district. We will be putting that notice out in the not too distant future. And with that, I'll leave you for someone else to present their information.
Someone else to prevent the rest. So you're giving me a headline already, Jerry, the Dog Days of Rush. So
Dog Days of Rush.
Eileen, what's going on in the village of Scottsville?
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Scottsville's doing just fine. It's been a fairly quiet week. Some things going on we just want to update you on. We had a visit from Senator Gallivan this past week. Came in to talk with the town and the village about our concerns, what's going on, and we got to give him some ideas on what we're looking at and the issues that we're having. As Jerry mentioned, there was a car show in Scottsville last weekend. Kevin Allen, a resident of the village, does the car show each year for charity, and it was held that the Saturday, August 14th. And I guess a lot of people were able to attend. I wasn't able to attend this year, but I'm sure it went very well. It's always a great day. We got a report on our sales tax revenue for the second quarter of the year, and it was very encouraging. Really showed a nice increase from the same quarter last year, and we're hoping it keeps up this way. It's been a real plus. August 31st, it's a Tuesday, and on that day, Congressman Chris Jacobs will be visiting Scottsville to honor longtime resident Alex Gilbert as a Veteran of the Month. Part of this is a flag will be flown over the Capitol in Alex's honor and will be presented to him that day, along with a commendation for his service. Mr. Gilbert is a World War II veteran, and so, you know, there are not a lot of those gentlemen and ladies left. So we're really honored to be able to have Mr. Gilbert honored at that time. The ceremony will be at the Smith Warren Post, and I know you'll be able to find some more information on our website as the date approaches. We'd like to thank Mr. Gilbert for his service to our country and our community. The Genesee Valley Greenway is doing tree trimming and removal along the Greenway, and they will be continuing north from Scottsville on the Greenway for the next few weeks. Please do not travel on trail sections that are marked closed. And finally, we have brush drop-off for village residents at the DPW on Saturdays from 9 to 12. And the last Saturday for drop-off will be September 25th, and then we start getting into leaf season. So if you've been collecting piles of brush and you've got them loaded up in your truck, you can bring them down to the DPW any Saturday through that time, and there will be someone there to let you in, and you can dump the brush. Proof of residency is required. And the last thing that we want to say to everybody is please remember to get vaccinated. We don't want anybody getting sick. So if you get vaccinated, you're protecting yourself and us. So thank you very much, and everybody have a good week.
All right. Thanks, Eileen. John, the town of Menden, what do we got here going on?
Hi, Chris, and all the other elected officials here today. Appreciate the time as always to share some information within the town of Menden. I just wanted to advise everyone that we are going to have a special meeting on August 23rd. That is to, we received the report from our memorial committee regarding the horrific helicopter crash that claimed the lives of the 3 servicemen. So we received that report from the committee, and the town board will be looking at that and deciding what type of action would be appropriate from the town. Also, there will be a ceremony. Rick may want to expand on this, but on 9/11, there will be a ceremony in Honeoye Falls for the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And I'll be attending, and I encourage everyone to attend and pay their respects. Excuse me. Also, the Menden Firemen's Carnival will be going on the 10th and 11th of September. The parade is at noon on the 11th. I encourage everyone to attend that as well. Masks are now being required at the Menden Public Library. I was able to secure masks from Monroe County and deliver them to the library so that if you don't have a mask, they have plenty there. If you need some masks, help yourself. But those are now required at the Menden Public Library. The state of New York has been out. Maybe they've been watching our little events here, but they finally were out on Route 251, filling in some potholes, which is next. I want to get them on Clover Street, but they've been filling in potholes the last couple of days, which was needed. We had some near Hurlingham and Lantern Lane, one area specifically that was really bad, and those have been at least temporarily repaired, which I'm glad to hear about. And let's see, I was talking to our buildings and grounds person this week, and he did some calculations. We are mowing 31 acres of property. The town of Menden is municipal property, also the various cemeteries around town. And as everyone knows, there really hasn't been any weeks off from mowing this year between the rain and the way the grass has been growing. We really haven't had any weeks off. So that has been keeping our gentleman who is buildings and grounds very, very busy, mowing, trimming, etc. You can imagine the amount of time it takes to do the cemeteries. Let's see, we're working on our 2022 budget, and that's progressing. I will be presenting the tentative budget on September 13th at the town board meeting. That's 7 o'clock at the community center. Certainly encourage people to, come and listen, or you can participate on Zoom. You can watch it on YouTube. Then that will lead to the preliminary budget in a public hearing, which will probably take place on September 27th. And we'll proceed to a final budget in October. School tax collection, as we all know, we get that little, those of us who don't, I can't think of the word. Your school taxes are not included in your mortgage payment. You'll be receiving your school taxes if you are a resident of the town of Menden and you pay your school taxes individually from different than from your bank. You don't escrow them. That was the word I was looking for. You can pay them at the Menden Town Hall, whether you're in the Honeoye Falls-Lima School District or the Pittsford School District. The caveat is that you need to be a resident of the town of Menden. You can pay those here in person or by mail. We also have a drop box on the West Main Street side of the building. You can put your payment in there and we will send you a receipt. Once again, we don't have any control over the school tax, the rate, the cost, etc., the school budget. all we do is collect it. So, you know, that old message of don't kill the messenger. Thank you for your time and having me on today.
All right. Thanks, John. Rick, Village of Honeoye Falls.
Good afternoon. It's great to see everybody. I appreciate the opportunity. It's always good to see everyone from around the community. And Jerry, you know, I appreciate your comments on the music. I will tell you, I've spent some time in that best kept secret over the last few weeks, and I happened to be walking through Rush and saw the setup for 8 days a week, and they are a very good band. And I wasn't able to stay for the show, but you're right. We tend to get people from outside our communities coming in for our shows as well. So music draws people, and it's always fun. So in the village, speaking of those summer concerts, we continue to have to reschedule quite a few. We are getting that list put together. Certainly the Sentinel will have those, and we'll be posting them on the community pages, etc. But we have about 4 concerts, or maybe 5 now, that we're pushing right through the month of September. So they will not all be on Tuesdays. We'll have a concert on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you're going to have to really pay attention to the publications on these, because we're trying to fit in as many as we can. So we appreciate everyone's patience with that. But we certainly love the music in the village and having people come into Harry Allen Park. So keep looking for that. We are working with, I've mentioned before, we have been initially awarded a very nice grant for sidewalk projects. That continues to go through the process. So we've already heard back from the state. They're going through the initial processing of that grant. Our DPW staff has been putting together a list, kind of an A, B, and C list. So top priority sidewalk projects down to minor repairs. But boy, it's amazing when they start adding up how much these projects cost and how many there are. But we've got, we're going to be starting on over $200,000 worth of sidewalk projects, and those are just the main ones. We're putting together that list. We're working with the state, and in the village, we'll have to pay for these projects up front, and then the state reimburses us. But it's all worth the effort. You know, Honeoye Falls being the walking community that it is, we really need to make sure that these walkways and sidewalks and crosswalk areas are in good shape. So we're working hard on that. Keeping in line with the crosswalks and sidewalks, we're very happy to report that finally the crosswalk project at Pine Trail has started. The infrastructure for the new crosswalk and crosswalk designation, the lightings and all that is all started. It still will be the end of August before it's completed, but it has been started, and we appreciate the DOT and their efforts and their willingness to work with us on this. I'm sorry it's taken as long as it has, but you know, it'll be good to have it done for sure. And it's a very busy intersection. I do appreciate John bringing up the 9/11 20th anniversary memorial service, which will be on Saturday, the 11th of September. This is kind of being led by a local resident, Ed O'Brien, who has been very involved with our memorial flags, our military flags here in the village, and also involved with the CADE project and a couple of other fundraisers. This event, I think, is going to be really special, not only because it's the 20th anniversary, and it's something we want to make sure that we don't forget. But this is going to follow the timeline of the incidents that happened 20 years ago on 9/11. So we'll be gathering around 8:30 a.m. At 8:45, 8:47, that time frame, there'll be the first introduction and speaker, if you will. The American Legion Post 664 group will all be taking part. There will be a military salute. And then again, there'll be a speaker. then there'll be a little bit of a delay, and then at 9:15 and all those timelines, right through 10:30 or 11 o'clock, there will be a new speaker. Marjorie Burns, our assemblywoman, will be here. John, myself, our Carla Boyce, I'm sorry, and a couple of others will all be speaking. So we're really looking forward to a very nice ceremony. It'll be a lengthy ceremony, so you can come to the beginning and then leave and come back or stay for the whole thing. But there'll be 50 flags posted at the cemetery, all donated. And the flag poles and their holders were all donated as well. So we're really looking forward to this. So it should be a very nice thing. And as John said, we encourage as many people to come out as possible. As Eileen had mentioned, we have received our quarterly notice for our tax revenues, and yes, for the Village of Honeoye Falls as well. Those numbers are up very positively. And what this does is this helps offset some of those budget shortfalls we may have, and or it will help with some of the projects that we have scheduled that we may not need to pull out of capital reserves or whatever. So we're happy for that. That's certainly a benefit. This coming Wednesday, the 25th, at the community center. And again, our sincere thanks to the town. They are always great to work with in using the community center. We have a couple of professors from the Rochester Institute of Technology and some of their students who will be putting on a presentation on the use of hydrogen and green technology, green energy. They really feel that Honeoye Falls in our area could be a hub, if you will, for green technology. When you look at the old GM facility, Hyzon being here, and some of the energy saving programs that some of our local businesses are trying to engage in. So they're going to come and do a presentation. It's open to the public. They'll be presenting to the village board and anyone who shows up. We're going to try to maybe record that on YouTube or Facebook Live or something like that as best we can. But we're looking forward to that. So again, 7 o'clock on the 25th at the community center, and it's open to the public. And then lastly, we do and we are continually looking at our own programs, if you will, regarding masking and the COVID variant, et cetera. I will say that this past week, we did have a single DPW employee, part-timer, that did test positive. So we have had to go through all the protocols on that. Our full staff, DPW staff, were all tested. Everyone was negative. So that was very good for us. That particular employee was actually on his going to be starting his last week with us anyway as part-time summer help. So he obviously, that person will not be with us over the next week, but we're going through all the contact tracing. This person was not generally involved with the public. But again, the county has control of that, right? They're doing all their tracing, et cetera. So, it's to Jerry's point and everyone else, we just all have to be aware of the situation. We have to be aware of those people around us and when we're in large groups, and we have to be aware of our own body and our own, body feelings, right? If all of a sudden you're losing your taste or you're losing your sense of smell, don't think that it's, just nothing, get tested. We respect everyone's choice as well. But as Eileen said, we certainly encourage everyone to get the vaccination and do what you can do to help stop the spread. So again, with that, we thank everyone for their time. We thank you for this opportunity, Chris, and everyone have a great day, great week coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Anybody have anything that they have forgotten that they might want to add? Seeing none, Want to thank everybody again for listening. Remember, we are on the air every Sunday at 1 o'clock on our Facebook and YouTube channel. And if you miss that, you can always read the transcript in the Sentinel each week. Thanks again for being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.